What is going on, YouTube? Hope you guys are all having a great day so far. Today we're here in the last day of 2022 to make my Habs 2023 wish list. I'm gonna give you guys what I want the Canadiens to do for the 2023 year. Some trades that I wanted to make, some players that I want them to pick up, some moves that I want the Canadiens to do, some objectives for the year. So yeah, I'm gonna be giving you guys my wish list, and yeah, give me yours in the comments below. I'm curious to see what do you guys want from the Canadiens in the 2023 year. So yeah, before getting into that, I invite you guys to subscribe. I'm trying to get the 2.5k subscribers before the end of the year, aka before the end of the day. So if you could help me out with that, that would be amazing. There's like 20 subscribers left, so that would really help me if you could subscribe to the channel. So yeah, first thing I want the Canadiens to do before the end of the 2023 year, during the 2023 year, is to fire Alex Burrows. I mean, Alex Burrows has been running the power play for the Canadiens since they fired Claude Julien, hired Dominique Ducharme. They fired both Kirk Muller and Claude Julien. They hired Ducharme and Burrows, and since then, Alex Burrows been running the Habs power play. I mean, he did a pretty good job in his first year in the playoffs. The Habs were doing kind of decent. It was not the best thing I've ever seen, but they were doing decent, like okay. But since last year and this year has been running the worst power play in the entire National Hockey League, and by far for back-to-back years. And when something is not working, you need to do a change, and his power play is simply not working. The Canadiens have been struggling. The power play has been embarrassing. Nick Suzuki even said it. And yeah, we need to get another experienced coach that knows how to run a power play, and that will bring a bit more experience behind the bench, because all the coaches behind the Canadiens bench don't have a lot of experience. So to bring a bit of experience and bring a power play specialist that knows how to make a power play work in the National Hockey League, that would work perfectly. Second thing I want the Canadiens to do trade-wise this time is to trade Sean Monahan. I mean, I know a lot of people love Sean Monahan. They want them to re-sign him. They want him to keep him. I want Sean Monahan to stay with the Habs, but it's too good of an opportunity not to trade him. Like, Sean Monahan, we acquired for free with the first round pick, and if we could flip Sean Monahan again for another first round pick or for a good prospect, that would be one of the biggest steals ever seen in the National Hockey League. Getting 2 first round picks for a guy that nobody wanted would be one of the biggest big brain move I've ever seen in my life. Yes, I have Sean Monahan. Yes, I'd love for him to stay, but it's too good of an opportunity not to trade him, in my opinion. And yes, I think the Canadiens are most likely going to trade him at the trade deadline. Another player I want the Canadiens to trade is Josh Anderson. I mean, Josh Anderson's a guy I really like. I love his tenacity. I love his intensity. I love his person. I've watched some interviews. He looks like a nice guy. Well, he is a nice guy. And yeah, I really appreciated Josh Anderson for all the time he's been in Montreal in the playoffs when the Canadiens went to the Stanley Cup final. He was really, really impressive and a really, really important player. But I honestly do think that at the point the Canadiens are in their rebuild, they kind of need to trade Josh Anderson. He has a big contract. There's still a long time left on his contract. They're trying to rebuild. They're trying to get assets, and I think that Josh Anderson's probably the forward that would give the better return in the veterans, because you don't want to trade young guys. So in the veterans, I think that Josh Anderson's the player that will probably give out the most in return. And I know the Canadiens said they don't want to trade him, but they said the same thing for Toffoli last year. And I see Josh Anderson a bit in the same situation that Tyler Toffoli was in last year. And I think that Josh Anderson is most likely to get traded as well. Same thing for Joel Edmondson. I think that it's important for them to trade Joel Edmondson. I really like him as a player. He looks like a nice guy. He's an important leader in that locker room. But I think that he's probably one of the players that could give out one of the best return. And if we could end up at the 2023 NHL entry draft with 4 first-round picks, 3 or 4 first-round picks, that would be one of the best things that could happen for the Montreal Canadiens, because this draft class is absolutely stacked, and we want to get as much pick as possible to get as much young players as possible. And the most young players you have, the better you have the chance to get one of them that's going to be a franchise player, an elite player. So yeah, I'm all in to get draft picks, and I think that Monahan, Edmondson, and Anderson needs to be traded at the trade deadline to get a better chance on having some elite young guys at the NHL entry draft. Another thing that I have on my wish list is for Cole Caufield to hit 40 goals. I know it's been pretty slow in the last couple of games. Nick Suzuki's been struggling as well, but they will start producing again at some point in the next games, in my opinion. When Monahan will come back, and until he will leave in the trade deadline, he's going to help them a lot. And I think that it's still possible for Cole Caufield to get the 40, and I think that he's capable of it. And I think that for his development, it would be really important to hit that mark, to hit that milestone. So yeah, I want Cole Caufield to hit 40 goals, and I want the Canadiens to re-sign Cole Caufield for 8 years. That's another thing that I will add on my wish list. Lock up Cole Caufield for the next 8 years to prevent an offer sheet and to keep our superstar here in Montreal. Another thing that I have on my wish list is for the Canadiens to get a top 5 pick. I think it's important to get a top 5 pick because this draft class is amazing. Almost all 5 of the first players that will be available at the draft are going to be just like getting a first round pick, just like getting another Slafkovsky. So whatever, if it's Connor Bedard at first overall, Adam Fantilli, Leo Carlson, any of those players, I'm down to get one of them. And yeah, I think that the Canadiens will be having a top 5 pick at least. I don't think that they will land Connor Bedard because they started the season too well. But I do think that they could get a shot at Fantilli, they could get a shot at Mishkov, they could get a shot at Carlson and all of those guys. So yeah, it will be important to have a top 5 pick and to pick the best player available and your needs and all of that. So yeah, top 5 draft pick for the Canadiens, and I want them also to get a top 10. I want a top 5 and a top 10 because I really want them to draft Dalibor Dvorsky because yeah, he's Slovakian. He could have some chemistry with Slafkovsky and Meshar, and I think that he's one of the most underrated player out of this draft. We saw him at the World Juniors. He's good on both hands. He's just a better version of Dvorak. Trade Dvorak and draft for Dvorsky. That's my opinion, and start a petition for that. Let's go. Last thing I want the Canadiens to do is to sign a free agent that could help the development of the young guys. A forward that can help the young guys at the forward position to get better habits as NHL players. Because right now with the Hoffman, with all of that, the young guys are kind of learning how to lose. Like Hoffman doesn't put in effort, the Donov doesn't put in effort, Drouin, same thing. And you need a guy, a veteran, that will help them get into the next level, a bit like Toffoli was doing. I think that it's important, and maybe you'll be able to flip him after for some first round picks. So to sign a free agent that is going to help the young guys a bit in the same way that Toffoli did with Suzuki and Caufield, I think is important, and that will bring good habits into the locker room, bring some leadership. But as a forward, I think it would be really, really important for the Canadiens. So yeah, like I said, give me your wish list in the comments below. It's been your boy Tropical Habs. Have a nice 2023 year. Enjoy your time with your family. It's been your boy Tropical NHL, and I'll see you all for Habs review tonight for the game between the Canadiens and the Capitals. Bye-bye.